All right, bro. So you cannot convince me. You cannot convince me that every man doesn't want to have the best physique that he can have. All right. You cannot convince me that every man doesn't want to be in the best shape that they can be in. All right. There's no one that wants to be out of shape. There's no one that wants to have, a subpar physique. Now, obviously, does that translate into actual reality? Obviously not. But yeah, no man wants to not be, no man wants to be out of shape. No man doesn't want to be the best version of himself, but when we are out of shape, we're clearly not the best versions of ourselves. All right, so, yeah, man. So what does it take to create your best physique? A lot of times it's what scares people to, or what scares men, I guess. What scares men to, create the best physique that they can. They know that it's going to be a lot of work, okay? Especially when the mountain of work seems, as big as it is. If you're 50 pounds overweight, 100 pounds overweight, that seems like a massive mountain, okay, of work to get to where you would be considered having your best physique to yourself and just, in general. So, but yeah, it is a lot of work, especially if you let it slide that far, man. So, but I want to read this Tony Robbins quote. So, Tony Robbins, he says, "Stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start being excited about what could go right." Okay? So instead of living in the fear of, man, what if I try to, create my best physique or try to get in shape, or what if I try to lose weight, and put on muscle, all this good stuff, but I fail, okay? We have to stop worrying about failure so much and start being a little bit more delusional about assuming that we're going to succeed, right? So long as you have the right inputs and so long as you do the right inputs for long enough, I mean, how can you not succeed, right? So we have to, and this is, this is not just for fitness, but this is honestly for anything. And this is the mindset shift that I had to come to a realization when pursuing a lot of different things, not just not necessarily just my fitness. But, another thing is, aside from just being scared and anxious about the work that's going to take, is being scared to give up current habits and just give up the comfort of, the lifestyle of where you're at to get closer to that goal physique, right? Someone who has their best physique is not going to fast food restaurants multiple times a week or even any times during the week. The last time I had fast food, it was Chipotle, and that was like, right now it's April, beginning of April, right? Last time I had Chipotle, last time I had fast food was in maybe August or something. I don't know, it was a while ago. And before that, I couldn't even tell you, so. And I mean, you see the proof, you see the physique. So, yeah, as men, we have to get out of our comfort zone, right? Because being comfortable is what's keeping you in that state of not having your best physique, right? Again, this is applicable to pretty much anything, but I'm speaking about physique, right? Yeah, so even for myself, let's say for physique for myself, I, for a little bit, I've never been out of shape or I've never been overweight. But, I did have a point where I was a college athlete and my physique was just naturally from doing all the training and all that stuff, it was naturally spot on, bro. So, you come out of that lifestyle of training every single day for hours and hours and hours, and being able to eat, 5,000 calories a day, stuff starts to creep, right? The lifestyle creep of doing the same type of eating and not being as cognizant with the eating, but your lifestyle just every day doesn't match the same as when you were training. So, you know, I was never overweight or anything, but I would look at my physique and it's just like, dude, like, I'm not content with where I'm at right now. So even myself, I had to, you know, I've done a couple cuts now. You know, I've had to give up some certain foods for, you know, extended periods of time or some period of time. And this is, we're just, again, I'm just talking about physique. So a lot of times dudes are unwilling to change, you know, certain foods. Just, bro, literally just substituting. Like, instead of going to McDonald's, eating burgers, bro, just make that shit at home, right? You will literally save probably half the calories and get 2-3 times as much protein, and you won't feel like shit, right? So just make this shit at home. But yeah, it's just that comfort. We're too addicted to the comfort, man. We got to get out of our comfort zone. We have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I said this in, I think, the last video that I posted, but the last thing I'll say is we also have to realize it's okay to have the fear and acknowledge it, and have that fear of the unknown, because it's unknown, okay? You're not sure how long it's gonna take for you to get to a certain point. You're not sure how your body's gonna react to, you know, certain changes that we make. You're unsure, you know, just everything around is so much uncertainty, and that's why there is that fear of making the change. Again, I'm talking about physique and fitness, but we can apply this to anything, because I know I experienced this in a lot of different areas. Right? But yeah, be okay. Be willing to experience that fear, but then observe it and then move past it. Right? I feel like as men, you know, we always want to show how we're not, you know, how we're bulletproof and we're not afraid of this, that, the other. But it's like, okay, it's not like, oh, I'm afraid of spiders. It's a proper fear that, you know, you're gonna put in all this work and not get a reward for it, or you're gonna put in all this work and not get a result for it. So that's what that fear, for the most part, at least what I've seen training people, that's what that fear is. So, you know, acknowledge it, cool, move past it, learn to move past it. It's gonna be a process. Nothing is ever linear. But yeah, man, don't be afraid to go after getting your best self, or creating your best physique, creating your best self. And if you need permission, you shouldn't need permission, but this is your permission to do that, all right?